Assassin's Creed Origins is now out, and the question on everyone's mind is whether or not it's good. While I'm glad to say that from these review scores, it appears Assassin's Creed is back and makes a triumphant return in one of the strongest entries yet. This is a special game because this is the first Assassin's Creed game in quite some time to not be part of an annual release schedule. This game has been given more resources and a longer development time than many of the previous entries. Combined with many new revamped gameplay mechanics, and a design overhaul, a lot of fans had high hopes and expectations for this game, so it's great to see it being received so well early on. Only time will tell if people still feel the same way about the game after the initial new game hype wears off, but for now, it seems to be a safe purchase. Here are some of the good things critics had to say about the game. Eurogamer had to say this: Egypt has returned to the kind of landscape that gave the series its brilliant streamlined parkour in the first place. The kind of landscape where this stuff makes sense. So parkour is back to a one-button affair here, and all the better for it. And it's a pleasure to watch Bayek move through the game. It makes for far more organic and engaging combat as you dart about enemies slicing away with a light, quick attack and a heavier defense breaker. And it encourages you to use more of the space around you as you move in and out of a fight, prioritizing between a handful of enemy types who each pose their own threats. Game Informer had to say, Bayek is a strong lead who sits at a comfortable midpoint between the playfulness of Ezio and the brooding over-seriousness of Connor. The supporting cast is great as well, and several moments build on his relationship with his community, family, and friends across Egypt in ways that flesh out his character. Combat has been reworked for the better. Dodging, blocking, and hitting opponents feels more active than the counter-based approach of past games. GameSpot had to say, Bayek himself is a major influence in the world, thoughtful of others and his surroundings, despite facing tragedy. He isn't shy about breaking tension with a joke or sharing a tender moment with loved ones. Playing through Bayek's journey is surprisingly educational, making each event and landmark, even the gladiator arenas and carry-out racetracks, an opportunity to learn more about the setting and period. IGN went on to say, while the main story is delightful, mystical, and elaborate on its own, Origins has some of the strongest actual mission design I've encountered in the entire 10-game series, and maybe in any open-world RPG. Previous Assassin's Creed games don't have anything to put up a fight once you feel confident in your abilities, but there's challenge in Origins every step of the way if you go looking for it. Okay, now let's look at some of the cons of the game. For Game Informer, they said higher level missions and enemies are frustrating to fight, so you may need to level up between missions. This especially slows the pace down as the main story builds momentum in its final hours. As much as Origins improves the world inside the Animus, it struggles to provide a meaningful reason to venture outside of it. GameSpot said, while Assassin's Creed Origins reaches great heights in this new setting, it routinely runs into issues that bog down the overall experience. Technical issues make for an inconsistent experience, and its new gameplay pillars wobble under the weight of its systems. While combat is solid when fighting a limited number of foes, things quickly turn south when more enemies are added into the mix, as the mechanics are designed for more intimate engagements. From IGN, Alana Pierce says, I did also have some minor issues with environments popping in. A handful of bugs, mostly Bayek or his mount getting stuck on something. Framerate drops even on the Xbox One X, and 2 crashes during my time playing. While finding a legendary weapon is a thrill, it's not as dramatic as it is in a game like Destiny 2, because legendary weapons are easy to come by in the main story quest, and most have unexciting benefits. Okay, well I hope all these reviews and statements from critics helped in your decision of buying or passing on this game. I myself have purchased it, and am having a blast so far. I plan playing it to completion for another review that I'll do later down the road, similar to my Destiny 2 review. Let me know in the comments below if you bought the game, and what your thoughts are on it so far. With that said, I'll see you guys on the next Shepherd Gaming video. Kilo Salai.